This post looks simple, but the promise is big. Spin up an AI agent with a real phone number this weekend. The project is Patter, an open-source SDK for Python and TypeScript. The source post has no video, so I am not pretending there's one. Instead, I pulled the official site, docs, GitHub repo, PyPI page, and npm package. The question is straightforward. Does this actually remove the ugly telephony work, or is it just another voice AI wrapper with a nice screenshot? The original claim is narrow and useful. Patter says it gives an AI agent a phone number. The image calls it a production-ready voice AI SDK with built-in telephony, speech-to-text, text-to-speech, and a local server. That matters because most phone agents are a pile of carrier webhooks, audio streams, model calls, latency fixes, and routing glue. Patter is trying to make that a normal developer package instead of a weekend of plumbing. The docs describe the flow like this. A caller hits a carrier, usually Twilio or Telnyx, and the call audio moves through a WebSocket into Patter. Patter handles streaming, transcoding, speech recognition, the agent turn, and speech synthesis back to the caller. Your agent can be a function, an OpenAI real-time engine, an 11 Labs CONVAI setup, or a custom pipeline. The point is not that phone calls are easy. The point is that the messy pieces are now behind one SDK boundary. The 4-line quickstart is real, but only after credentials are ready. In Python, you import Patter, Twilio, and OpenAI real-time. You bind a Twilio number. You create the agent with an engine and a prompt. Then you serve it, often through the built-in Cloudflare tunnel for development. That is a clean developer experience. It is not a free hosted phone service. You still need a carrier account, a phone number, and an AI provider key. The docs also make the setup path concrete. Install the package, set the carrier and model environment variables, create the main file, run it, then call the number. That is exactly the kind of sequence beginners need to see, because the first real failure is usually not the 4 lines of code. It is credentials, webhook reachability, or the wrong phone number format. This is not just a landing page. The public GitHub repo is patterai/patter, MIT licensed, with Python as the main language and current activity on the main branch. PyPI lists get Patter at version 0.6.3. npm lists the same package name and version for TypeScript. The repo description also names Twilio, Telnyx, and Plivo. That matters because source proof beats vibes. If a viewer wants to test this, the package path is public. I also checked the public registries because repo readmes can drift. In this case, PyPI and npm both point back to the same project and both show the same release version. That gives the video a clean source chain: post, site, repo, docs, package pages. The obvious comparison is VOPI, Retell, LiveKit voice agents, or a custom Twilio plus OpenAI real-time build. Those can all work. Patter's pitch is different. Own the stack, run it on your own infrastructure, and keep the carrier and model choices modular. That is attractive for builders who do not want another black box between their agent and their users. The real trade-off is that ownership also means you are responsible for deployment, secrets, monitoring, and costs. That is the real buyer question. If you want the fastest no-code dashboard, a hosted voice platform may be easier. If you are building a product where logs, routing, provider choice, and data boundaries matter, an SDK you can run yourself becomes a lot more interesting. The docs include the pieces that usually get skipped in hype posts: local mode, test mode, call logging, tracing, metrics, cost tracking, guardrails, transfer, recording, and a stable webhook hostname for production. Development can use a Cloudflare tunnel. Production should not depend on a throwaway tunnel. That one sentence tells you this is aimed at real deployments, not just a demo. The caveat is simple. Do not put secrets in code, do not fake carrier costs, and do not assume a phone number makes an agent safe. The production checklist is the place I would slow down in a follow-up tutorial. I would show the exact install, the environment file with fake values only, the first boot logs, the carrier webhook update, and the call record files that prove the agent actually answered. My take: Patter is worth a real build test. The hook is strong because phone calls are still one of the most painful surfaces for agents. The source package supports a 5-minute explainer, but not a real call walkthrough by itself, because the tweet has no demo video and no human narration. The next video should be a clean install. Buy or connect a number, run the quick start, make the first call, show the first failure, and show the fix. That follow-up would be more useful than another hype review because it would answer the questions people actually have. What does it cost? Which provider is required? Where do logs go? What breaks on a fresh machine? And what has to change before production?